We're good. So are we going to talk about what you want to bring up what we were just talking about? She doesn't listen to the podcast, right?
No, yeah, she doesn't. Oh, I don't know. Wait, no, I said something to her from the last podcast. I said, do you watch the podcast? I don't think she watches it. I think we're good. I think we're in the clear. We can talk shit.
Let's talk shit about our wives.
Shit. So, Mrs. Slicks.
Does she really not listen to it?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
I don't even know if Allie listens to it.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Maybe. What's the worst I can have?
I know she listens to the one that she's on.
Allie?
Yeah, to make sure she didn't say anything stupid.
Oh, okay. Which
smart. I don't really
What's already
care.
posted.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I say something stupid.
I like saying stupid things.
Yeah,
I like seeing
whatever.
the people in the comments. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was stupid.
Bro, I got guys in the comments now. Oh my gosh, man. I think I screen grabbed one. Let me see if I can find it.
I like to think of it like they're not actual real people. I don't know who they are.
Oh, these are good comments. I screen grabbed a bunch of good comments from.
You posted one the other day. It was quite funny. I said something the other day too. I think it was yesterday. I was talking to her the day before. I was talking to Rebecca, and it really, if you read comments, you can tell who's like intellectually sound and like conscious, and then people who are just using big ass words to try to confuse. And,
of course.
There's people throwing like these expression words together to try to confuse the other person, and then the other person's just like, bro, I don't know what you're talking about. Good luck. There's a lot of words there. Cautionable. Who uses cautionable in a sentence?
I don't know. I wanted to find this one guy. It was like, he went off on me and was like basically saying that I was everything that was wrong with everything. Like I was the reason.
You're the Antichrist
Oh,
himself.
bro, it was just like I was so stupid. He's like, just because you have a podcast, you don't know what you're talking about, X, Y, and Z. You're gonna kill everybody.
Oh, shit.
Oh, it's just absolutely. I mean, it was just bad. But it's what's funny is when I get those comments, most of the time I just go, okay. That's my comment to haters. I like to respond.
That
because it helps the algorithm.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
so I'm like, okay.
It definitely doesn't re-trigger them at all either.
No.
Right? No.
And there's like, anyways, but then this is the reason why I don't ever sweat it. Let me find the YouTube one. And Mark, I can send this to you so you can put it in the video.
Just scrolling forever through comments. Jesus.
No, not all the time, but I just like.
No. I mean, like, you got so many right now to go through. Like, you're just scrolling.
Oh yeah.
They're just all like.
Yeah. I get a lot,
yeah.
but a lot of them are good. So I like to, you know what I mean. I like to share. I like to share them.
Too.
You know what I mean.
I got a couple right here too.
Oh, it's like things like this. Like it's like, people will say something like really, really bad, right? But then it's like the version of it. It goes, they're like, this is a toxic communication, and what it is they're just making themselves. It triggers them because it's so real to them that it makes them feel bad about themselves.
Yeah, you touch the part that they don't want to talk about.
They don't want to talk about.
You poked at it.
So they're like, no. They angry back. But then some people are like, thanks, Nick. This changed my whole. Like it's like, okay, like listen to it.
Yeah.
Agree or don't agree, but at least listen. And that's the thing. I think that's something you do very well. You always listen to every side of the story.
I have to
until and you can still disagree with it. But I'm like, let me hear what this person has to say. Yeah. And see if it challenges my belief, or if either it's going to challenge my belief, I'm going to see a new perspective, or I'm going to be like, I'm even more rock solid.
Yeah, I can sit more on my structure.
I can sit more on my structure,
on my
right?
Belief. Yeah. People are so closed off. They don't want to hear about other opinions or other perspectives. It's so weird to me that people like refuse communication. They like not only are ignorant, but they're arrogant. They're like, I do not want it. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to be open to anything. And it's like, how do you expect to? Like, the world is changing. The clock is changing constantly, and you're not. And there's conflict there. It's like, just hear people out.
Oh, I got to read this one, man. This is so good.
It's wild, though, that
everything.
Well, I think we talked about that while we were on the road from John Berthnall's house after that podcast you did. That was a good plug that you can go check out. You and his podcast that made everybody in the whole room cry and laugh. Dude, that was one of the best podcasts I've been on. Still,
I don't know if we ever talked about it publicly. So on that, there was that one part where like the air was so thick. You
Yeah,
couldn't cut
dude.
it.
Oh,
And
man.
I even felt it. I was like,
It was like time stopped.
It was
Everything
heavy,
stopped,
bro.
man.
Was it that way when you watched the
Yeah,
podcast?
yeah.
It was the
No,
still
it
same
was.
way?
Yep.
But was it
I don't
because
know.
you were there?
I don't know. Maybe.
Like if Mark watched it, would it have the same effect compared to?
See, but I don't know, because I wasn't on my phone. I didn't like when people watch podcasts. Are they like fully involved? Like, are they like actually watching it with intent?
Yeah.
Like I'm sitting there like watching and like, dude, this is Punisher right here, man. Like we're drinking Starbucks, like we're vibing. But on the road leaving, we were like in LA somewhere on the road for like how long? Like 3 hours or something like that.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I think we talked about how your job as who you do and what you do is to find people's pain points, like, oh, I don't like this bottom fat, right? But it's more mentally and emotionally and spiritually, talking about your 4 pillars, like to find weak points and points that are like, hey, that's showing, your weak point's showing, and that's why your kids don't respect you. Your job and why you're so good at what you do is because you point it and you just keep poking it until the person's like, okay. How do I get rid of this? And you're like, I got you, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's
what I want to bring up.
yeah,
So-
they don't. It's like
so
trolls
this-
don't do that.
So I don't know. Let me see what video. I don't know what video this is.
It looks like a story.
So it's one of the videos. I think it's one of the talking head videos that I've done. That I'm
Okay.
like yelling at people talking about something.
Try and point out.
Don't
their,
be the guy carrying the shoes.
Yeah, I love that analogy.
But this was a year ago. So this guy a year ago said dislike, and he pressed the dislike button.
Got him.
Okay. And I was like, okay.
Your channel has gone down ever since.
Yeah, it doesn't change anything. And then I responded a year ago. Which is crazy because I don't really respond to YouTube comments that much. I said, don't worry, I'll give you a like. So I liked his dislike.
Okay. Yep.
And then somebody responded right after him and said, LOL, man, just being chill is amazing. And then a couple days ago,
Okay.
this was I screenshot this yesterday.
Okay.
At 6:20 in the morning.
Okay.
This is his response. And James, if you're watching this, dude, get a hold of me because like, holy shit, I want to talk to you.
Is James the guy who's
James the guy who said dislike, and he made some he made some other
Okay.
negative comments and things like that, but no big deal. So, and this is the reason why I don't engage with negative comments. I just say, okay, a year later, he goes back to this video and he says this. This comment has been something I think about at least once a week or so over the last year.
no shit.
Listen, I let my emotions and state in life dictate how I act to the public, and I only wanted someone else to feel as bad as I did at the time. It was a huge slip in character, and it's something I regret every time I think about it. Even if you hadn't done great things with the core and built yourself up like you have, you deserved what I said, no more or less than anyone else, and I apologize. I am proud of the work you have put into your life to keep pushing, and this has oddly been a good and fair learning point for me. It's helped how I treat others, knowing and remembering how I spoke to someone I've never met, and it helps me keep in check as much as it has racked my mind and heart. Thank you for having the patience and showing me grace with me and my words.
Dude, that's rad, man.
But that is the reason why, and people get on these emotional tirades with these people, and I'm like, listen, only losers leave negative comments.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that you're a loser. I'm saying you're being a loser at that time.
Yeah.
That's
a loser thing.
A loser thing to
Losers do those.
And that's the reason why I do show them grace, and I say, okay, because if you're doing that, and this has happened so many times, if you're doing that, you're just that person has nothing to do with me.
Yeah, not at all.
I'm fucking stoked, dude. My life is awesome.
Yeah.
I got a hot ass wife. My kids, D is amazing. My girls are amazing.
Yeah.
We make a shit ton of money now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Life is fucking good.
Yeah.
Your comment is not fucking my life up. You know what I mean? But I show them patience and grace because of because when they leave negative comments and the negative comments that we see on like Johnny Slicks, that person is just in pain.
Yeah, they're externalizing.
Yeah.
They're blaming something else, or
you're just in pain. You're a dude that needs to join the Agoge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's surprising that he only said the word dislike though, and not this huge like rant. Because I've seen people, you've had comments of people turn around. Like they've DM'd and you've done that, and then they're clients, and you've changed their life drastically.
But the fact that, and to me, dislike was, okay, you disliked it. You're entitled to your opinion.
Yeah.
Don't worry, bro. I'll give you a like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the fact one word stuck with him for a year.
Yeah.
Not because not because of the word. It was,
though.
It's not the word.
That's what I'm saying. It's not the word.
It's not the word.
Yeah. It was
where he was at.
It's the psychological of what you did as well. Your action of not only
but it's also where he was at.
Yeah, 100%. He was, I picture like two people walking up to each other, and he walks up to you, and he's just like, fuck you, right? And you're just like, nice to meet you.
Pull a Kirk.
Yeah.
Make it a great day, man.
Love you, bro.
Love you, bro. Make
Have
it a great day. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you walk away like, they're just words, but ultimately it was like a dark negativity of toxic coming your way, and you were just like, much love. And then that action rippled throughout his life. Like, that's wild, man.
A year, dude.
A year. Yeah. That's enough time for everyone to fall off their goals. And this dude found happiness. Somehow found peace.
And like, man, if you could just, I wish people would just, we were talking about that. So you were just on it too, because we just had Kirk on the Agoge mentorship call.
Yeah, that was rad.
And talking about initiative and everything like that. But we were just talking about the power of that and change.
Yeah.
And we were talking about why people wait so long for that change.
Yeah.
To have the courage to take that step to like start being that person, the person that they want to be.
Stop waiting for someone to bring it to them.
Yeah. And it's like, dude, you know, cause I get like the guy like that, right? He says one word, has nothing to do with, I'm like, doesn't bother me, but it's where he was at.
Yeah.
But dude, imagine if he would have been like the next day, go, I'm going to do something about this. I'm going to get in a program. I'm going to do a coaching thing. I'm going to join a mastermind. I'm going to join the Agoge. Doesn't have to be the Agoge. Something.
Yeah.
But something that changed then, you wouldn't have wasted a whole year.
Yeah. True.
Like, I hate to break it to everybody, but we're
luckily
all dying.
He got one. Yeah. He got another year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like nobody's making it out alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is an end date for us all, period.
Yeah.
So, like, why waste any fucking time?
I don't know. I think
any of that.
Yeah, I think people are. It's hindsight. Everyone's like, "Oh, I wish I found this restaurant earlier," type thing. But that's why you just have to believe your tribe. When somebody says like, "Hey, this is my personal experience. Here's my evidence. If I need it, here's."
Well, you brought up the word tribe. I think that's a big portion of it because
100%.
We are who we surround ourselves with.
Yeah.
Hang out with losers, you're a loser. If you're the dude, sitting in the lawn with a bunch of your fat friends drinking Bud Light every weekend.
Yeah.
Well, you're just going to get a lot more.
Wondering why you can't meet chicks. Wondering why you can't find a good job.
Or why you can't lose weight.
Yeah.
Or why you can't make more money.
Why you're not happy. Yeah.
That's the reason. So we are who we are. Hang around. But that was something he brought up today as well, is surrounding yourself with a tribe, and like the rising tide raises all ships. And if you're in a community of individuals that are all heading in the same direction, then you're going to get there faster. And it's going to be a centrifugal force of getting there as well, because you're all holding each other accountable, inspiring each other. It's the same thing like for business. If you're not, when was it? When did I sit everybody down with Johnny Slicks and said, we need to have common vision? Because when we first started Johnny Slicks 5 years ago,
No, you got me early. You said what? Yeah, you had goals.
Because you were like, never going to sell.
Yeah, I was like, nope. I sold my blood for this company, man. I'm not selling my blood. Nah, we ain't doing that. This is mine.
How long was it as our growth happened that you were like, yeah, I'd sell this?
The first Black Friday. But I should know it was the second Black Friday, because I showed up and it was like
2 years in.
Yeah, it was like 3 a.m. when I just got finished with the cooking, and we launched at like 5 a.m.
At the house.
At the beach house,
and that's when Dennis at 5 a.m. goes, Johnny, how are you going to change the world?
5 a.m., like coffee's brewing, and I'm on my laptop about to send the secret passcode out to all the slicksters.
Dennis is Allie's, Miss Capra's, my father-in-law, her dad. He's like having coffee.
How are you going to change? He was so energetic. Yeah. He said, how are you going to change? What actions are you doing that are going to change the world?
At 5 a.m.
And I'm like trying to send this email out to like the 500 slicksters that are signed up for this thing. And I'm like, what? I want to make pomade. I don't know. Yeah.
That's a really big question right now.
Yeah, I think that
the
moment,
sun's not even up yet.
Yeah. At that moment, I was like, this is like tiring, man. Like building business is not easy. And we are running. We are not.
Yeah.
Like this is not like
you're not coasting through life.
Yeah, no, not at all.
So it was 2 years after that. You were like, yeah, I could sell this.
Yeah.
Is that about the time that I set everybody down? I said, okay, let's do a
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah, because that's when shit got serious. Things started to really grow.
So on the whole common vision, the tribe thing, being of one mind kind of thing is, you can do it in your business as well, because we sat down and said, okay, what's the goal? Like, what is our commonality of goal? And I think I think that's where a lot of business partners fail, and that's where we've done really well is, what is the goal? Do we both share that vision? And then it comes down to every decision that we make.
It's so simple.
Does it get us closer to the goal? Yes or no?
Yeah. With business, it's a little bit bigger, but in personal, my analogy of the boat, I like the boat. So we all have our North Star, which is our goal. And with Johnny Slicks, we have a North Star because we have to come together and have a unified goal. So we have a North Star. We're all in our little boat, one-man kayak on the ocean, and we're just paddling towards our North Star. And every once in a while, you get up to somebody who's also heading in that direction. It might not be for long, but they're passing your path. Hey, you want to work with me? We can double paddle, and get there faster just until we split. And every once in a while, you find, we have 6 employees now. We're all paddling in the same direction. And eventually, they're going to go off and find their own passions and their own things, right? But until then, we can all double down and focus on the North Star that we're going to. And you correct me all the time because I'm young, dumb, and I want, like, every opportunity that comes around. I love shiny things. So, like, if something pops up and we're all paddling towards the North Star and Johnny's like, oh, wow, look at that over there. And I start paddling this way. Now I'm causing restrictions and I'm causing a different direction of pull on my team and on you guys. Right. So you're like, hey, smack me in the back of the head. And North Star is this way.
I don't physically do that.
No, he's locked me in the lab, though. I've been locked in the lab. Cooking for Black Friday, right? But, keeping the unified paddle, we're all going in the same direction and having a unified goal and communicating that and having it no shit, this is what we're doing and this is what we're doing it for. Then every action becomes black and white, cut and dry. You're either doing it.
Your choices get real limited.
Yeah. Hey, I'm paddling north. And all of a sudden that decision made us paddle a little bit east. Now we're off track. Yeah. That decision was wrong. How can we get back? And then everyone has to re-paddle back. So it's like, it is really the same personal and business, but I think business it's a little bit bigger because you have employees. Not saying that personally you can't have more tribe.
That's why it's so important for everybody to understand what direction you're heading and why.
Yeah.
But it does. If you have the clarity, if you have clarity of the direction, clarity is a big word. That means you can focus, and then wherever your focus goes, your energy flows.
Yeah.
So it comes down to that. It's like, whether it's in the Agoge or whether it's, our executive staff with Johnny Slicks, you have to have a common goal. And this is where people suffer, is because we know exactly what our goal is and what we want and where we're going with it. So it's easy to go, does this decision get us closer to that goal or does it take it away?
Yeah.
If it takes it away, if it's my idea, Allie's idea, Rebecca's your idea, it doesn't really matter. It could be zero emotion in it.
100%.
It's a simple fact. It's a simple question.
Yeah.
Does it get us closer to our sales goal? No. We're not doing it.
I'm going to plug your tribe then, because we have 4 of us making the executive decisions in Johnny Slicks. So imagine I had a diet that I was trying to stick to, but I don't have a tribe and I don't have accountability. All of a sudden there's a cookie there. It's not going to affect anybody but me.
No one's going to know.
No one's going to know.
Like that Instagram reel.
Yeah.
No one's going to know.
So I might as well. It won't get me closer to my goal, but what's the fault, right? Nobody else is going to get hurt.
Right.
Now, if I do something, I spend $15,000 on something and it costs the company a huge failure, whatever. Like, that's not something I just lose sleep over. That comes out of everybody's pocket. Right. We all suffer.
Right.
So people, when you run solo, you don't have that accountability. You need a tribe. You need somebody to hold you accountable.
Well, that makes, to me, that even makes, so I'm thinking about the business world. Like, if you're an entrepreneur and you're doing your own
running
business,
it solo,
you do need a coach. You do need somebody.
Or else you're going to take every opportunity that comes across you and you're going to get lost and pulled. And
And that's just, you know what that is? That's just collapsing time. I think if you're doing it by yourself, because you ran Johnny Slicks.
Yeah.
By yourself.
I drove it everywhere. I drove across the country.
For a little while, but look where that got you. Like, how long were you once you had your first formula, the initial formula that we sold, until we partnered on March 7th when we launched? How much time was that?
Like about 2 years.
Fuck.
Yeah. I had a green dot card I would fill at the gas station, and that was my business card.
From the time you finished your first formula until March 7th was 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years. Because I just got out of the Marine Corps in 2016, and I had it done. Yeah, that's when I was like trying to figure everything out and figure out my life. I worked at the gas station, so I would take any
I remember all that, but I didn't know you had. I thought that 2 years.
No, 2 years
was you figuring the formula out. How did I not know this?
No, I had it figured out. I drove everywhere. I tried to sell it everywhere. I was trying to like adopt things. Yeah.
So
no, but within that formula though, okay, so I will say it then. Within the formula, I sold multiple phases of the formula. Like
I'm talking
sold
about
like
the Johnny Slicks formula.
The final one. I would say then summer of spring of 2017.
Almost
so
a
a
year.
year.
A year.
Yeah.
Okay.
A solid year.
A solid year.
Yeah. Because that fall, I incorporated the new, like, I wanted to do some sort of, like, cool pumpkin thing, and I put a werewolf on the lid, and nobody bought it. And I was like, damn it, bro, that was so cool, man. Why no one would buy it?
Johnny didn't even have
I was trying to do more things with the business because I was trying
it wasn't
to grow
working.
It. No, it wasn't working. Can't just put logos on stuff. And
you didn't even have I was like, so what's your... It was funny. It was the funniest conversations ever. But you don't know what you don't know, you know. But anyways... That's kind of what your point is going at it alone.
Yeah.
It took a year. Look what we did in a year when you had the right answers.
Yeah.
Fucking drastically different.
100%.
Like you worked.
Didn't we do 6 figures the first year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You quit your job within 3 weeks.
Yeah, man. I remember. The most I ever made was like $360 something.
We did that like in a day.
Yeah. We did that the first day. And the first year was 6 figures. Yeah.
And then 3 weeks later, you called me and you were like, I'm stressed out. I can't do it.
I can't work these 2 lives, man. I got to get out of this barbershop. I got to get making some pomades.
Yeah. But that goes to the point. It's like if you have a coach, if you have somebody that holds you accountable, that helps you take your vision and just brings clarity and focus and solves and gives you the answers to the solutions.
Yeah.
It's just about compressing time.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have done it on your own, but how much longer?
How much would it have cost me?
What was the time?
Yeah. I probably would have given up, honestly.
Do you think you would have quit?
Yeah, man. You know, I'm 20. I was like 22 or 23. I'm Googling how to file bankruptcy. Like,
oh, you just lost your car too.
My car got repoed. We had charge off credit cards. The electric was getting shut off. Phones were getting shut off. I was like losing hope, man. I sold everything we had.
Rebecca was working nights.
She was working nights. I was working
days.
Yeah, I was at the barber shop at days and then barber school at nights and gas stations on the weekdays. Yeah. So I was like, things were really like
that life, dude.
Last straws, man. Yeah, ramen noodles and chunky soup, man. At the dollar store, they had chunky Campbell's soup. Man, I get like 6 cans a week. I would just eat those for lunch.
What the ingredients label on those are?
Shoot, man. I don't know. I don't want to look, though. The sodium levels.
And at one point, this is like the greatest entrepreneurial story ever because every beginner starts out this way. I mean, hell, I had those times.
Yeah.
And you got up to, you're how tall?
5'10". Yeah.
And you weighed how much?
I was 230, like 235. I'm going to say 230, though, because I didn't actually like hardcore weigh myself, but the last VA trip was 230. 230? Yeah.
And how much do you weigh now?
165. Yeah.
Mark, did you know that? Have you seen pictures of him?
No, we talked about our scans this morning because I said I was fat because I'm 9%, but I ate before I scanned, so I don't know.
Oh, what a fucking difference in life. Holy shit, man.
Yeah. Don't run solo. Like, name something that runs solo. Like, do it with other people, man.
I like the whole, like, I'm self-made.
Yeah, lone wolf.
Yeah. And Sydney, every time I talk about that, it's like with Sid Gordon, CEO of Core. Yeah. He, like, loses. He's like, motherfucker, you're what?
There is no one man to do it.
There's no such thing.
Not at all.
Jesus himself did not do it by himself.
You know everybody has their people.
Oh, man. Damn, I did not know that. A whole year.
Yeah. That was my briefcase era where I carried around a little, like,
yeah, for those of you who don't know,
briefcase.
Johnny was like 1955 pomade
salesman door.
What made you think that was the good idea? Like, I'm gonna get a briefcase.
Bro, I don't know, man. I wasn't in the right state. Man, I had brain fog. I was fat as shit. Like, I wasn't making good decisions. I was super stressed out. I haven't seen Rebecca in like weeks. Like, I wasn't making good decisions.
The funniest story that I heard is, so he lived in Jacksonville, North Carolina, and he drove to Jersey.
Connecticut. There was a barber expo in Connecticut.
He drove his...
Yeah, my 2013 Nissan Sentra.
Was the muffler fucked up on it?
Nah, man, we made it was a straight pipe. It's an aftermarket straight pipe, so it had no...
you drove that all the way to...
I drove it all the way, dude, through the tunnels. It was kind of cool, though.
That's probably why your hearing is bad.
Huh? Yeah, no, for sure. Like, definitely. That car was unnecessarily
so you drove from Jacksonville to Connecticut with a briefcase of pomade. And how many did you sell?
None. I gave some away. I don't think... No, I couldn't sell there because they don't let you sell if you don't have a booth. And I said, how can I can't buy a booth. I need to make sales to buy a booth. Can I just sell a cup? And they wouldn't let me.
You talked to them about it?
Yeah, dude, because apparently the guys I went with like knew the people. Bullshit. They were just all hype. Like, all that shit was hype. Like, I went there. I tried to like go up to other like people selling cosmetics and like stand there and like try to get I didn't have business cards, and I saw everybody was just doing business cards. People had product and they were just giving product away, and they would just have business cards. I'm like, this is not. I need to go to like a farmer's market. This is not where I belong anymore, man. Like, I can't sell here. So yeah, I didn't really make no money there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and none of those people I talked to about the free pomades ever hit me back up because I said, find me on Instagram. I didn't have a card or nothing, so I'm like, just look for Johnny Slicks.
I'll say the one thing. No, you did a lot of good things, obviously.
Thanks.
You really did. But the one thing that I was super stoked that you did do, and I don't even know how you did it.
Through like 8 third-party processors. I'll tell you, I was not financially intelligent, so I was just buying it.
He bought the domain.
Yeah, johnny6.com.
Which, thank you, because that domain's made us millions of dollars.
Yeah. I bought it through like this person who bought through this person on this site.
I remember I was like, hey, you have the domain. He's like, actually, I have. You were like super stoked. You were like, I own johnnyslicks.com.
Yeah.
I said, give me the details. And it was the most bizarre.
It's like a screenshot of like.
It was like the most bizarre thing ever, but you legally owned it. We finally got it transferred in the right.
Dude,
I
think it honestly cost me like $80 or $85.
Oh my God.
Beastwash.com was cheap too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing. You buy cheap and you make it.
And you had the Instagram. I remember you had the Instagram, and it was basically your personal Instagram.
It was my cat. I just had pictures of my cat on there.
So we started the company, and I'm like, we're selling product, and the next thing I know, there's like stories of
me eating Taco Bell with my cat.
With your cat. I'm like, John, what the fuck are you doing? Get that shit off of there.
Just being real, bro.
Yeah, whatever.
No, it was fun. Actually, I think if you have time, you could scroll all the way down to the bottom post, and you see like what the OG me posting by myself looked like.
I will give you a free Beast Wash set for the person who scrolls all the way back and screenshots something.
It's like a
then
$99 purchase right there.
Then
Beast Wash set.
DMs us that photo. If you're listening to this podcast and you can figure if you find
find that for us. I think there's like over 1,100 posts.
Good luck.
Yeah.
You're gonna time out.
Yeah.
You're gonna need some really good internet.
Shoot. It ain't working on my phone. I'll tell you that. I can't do that. My phone's gonna crash.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Nobody's
buy the domain of things of your ideas.
Absolutely.
Buy ideas.
Dude, we have bought domains of stuff that we have never even launched.
Yeah.
Just because.
Yeah. Can you imagine like having a really good idea and then talking about it and not buying the domain, and then someone you talk to bought the domain?
Dude, you know what's
like
what's really fucked up? I think I told you. We've had people like I've launched companies or I've talked about things or done something, and they've went out and bought, like when I've publicly talked about it, they went out and got the Instagram handle or Facebook name.
And try to sell it to you, or they just take it?
They just take it and then don't do anything with it.
Why?
I think it's like a weird, I think the word is cuck. Power.
Yeah,
move.
Why are they cucking you, bro?
Like really, that's really
That's
weird.
weird, right?
Yeah, but then they've tried to I've had people try to do that and then try to sell it back to me like hostage.
Yeah.
But then what you do is you show proof, you patent it.
Yeah.
Patent it, trademark it.
Yeah.
And then just do the legal route. And then,
Dude, that's so like,
for those of you who don't know, if you have, obviously you need to have a lawyer, but if you've had the trademark and then you can show that you've used it in commerce up to a certain date before anybody else, even if they have the Instagram handle or whatever, you can, once the trademark is registered and you have the number, Meta will give it to you legally. Yeah. Even if they have it.
Takes a little bit of time.
Takes a little bit of time, but they'll do that if it's like somebody's being shady.
Yeah.
But you have to show that it was used in commerce publicly by a date before them. You know what I mean? Yeah. And typically, when you're doing that like that stuff, somebody is doing it with malicious intent.
That's so ridiculous. Imagine saying like, I want that donut over there, and then someone just going over there and smashing it.
Well, it's like I don't want to open a can of worms, but it's like that company that tried to take half of our company because they had an idea and got into Target. Oh, yeah.
I don't want to open that can of worms.
I was like,
that's a big
thing.
Didn't
go anywhere. Like, obviously, I told our lawyer that I was like, this is one that I will die on my hill.
Yeah, dude.
I will die here.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna die before you take anything from us. And
that was ridiculous too. That was a ridiculous thing. That was like, I'm a big fish in this pond. Let me show you how big I am.
You're not.
And we're like,
you're not.
Okay, bud.
I told a lawyer.
It's all lighting.
I was like, I told him, I said, if you fuck this up, I'm getting on a plane. I'm driving to these people's house. And I'm gonna take my bat. I'm gonna handle this. The 1920s way,
old school way.
Yeah, I'm gonna handle this the old school way,
bro. Oh my gosh, yeah, that was a huge thing.
So there you go, guys. If your business, you're heading in the right direction when people start coming after you. Get a lawyer on retainer. It's worth it.
And a tribe.
Yeah.
Yeah, to have your back and your sides and your front. Yeah.
Your front.
All angles, bro.
Definitely your front.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's funny to me that people don't have tribes and they wonder why they have no problem hitting snooze. Go at it alone. Yeah. And then they hit snooze all the time and they're like, I don't know why I can't make progress in my life.
Well, it's
hard.
At the end of the day, I mean, you've done it. Like, think about your life when you were just alone compared to like now you have an entire team, you have an entire people of stuff. We're not meant to be. I mean, I wrote that in my book. We're not meant to be alone.
Yeah. Yeah, we all have longings for,
We're tribal people.
You know what happens when you're alone? Not to go into depression, but depression occurs. It feels bad, bro. Depression ain't fun.
Like, I don't know why I'm so sad.
Yeah.
Well, you haven't left your house in a week, and you don't work out.
And it sucks, too, because,
and you're eating Amy's meals.
Ultimately, oh, shit. Dude, that mac and cheese, bro. You're getting me distracted. The chili mac? Oh, man. They're not that bad.
It's bad for you, Johnny.
Don't eat it.
Don't eat that shit.
Eat it.
Don't eat that
I'm
shit.
like, I take 2 mac and cheese, put it in one big bowl. Oh,
you
amazing.
did that?
Yeah, dude, I did that multiple times.
That's why you were 5'10" and 230 pounds.
True. And I wasn't drinking water either.
No, it was, what were you drinking back then? Mountain Dew?
A 2 liter of cola.
2 liter of cola.
I had, I had full sugar soda. Full sugar. And like a can is like 46 grams. Yeah. That's more than what now I eat in like bi-weekly.
What's crazy now is if you said it on your story, if Johnny has any sugar at all now, he like breaks out and like blotches.
Yeah, and I get like really sweaty and
you have a headache.
Yeah,
nauseous.
Yeah, and then no amount of water can fix that. And the next day I have to pray. Yeah. But I think it is the person's fault. Sorry, not like turning it back too much, but like the somebody who's just laying in their bed all week. Mm-hmm. Like if you know someone who's laying in bed all week too, it's like partially your fault. Like you're watching your friend drink spoiled milk at that point.
Yeah, there's no like that's
if you know that, like,
that's where I get in trouble. I get in trouble.
Yeah,
because that whole accountability thing.
Yeah,
dude, if you give a shit about somebody,
right,
you're gonna tell them.
Yeah, you're not gonna watch them drink the spoiled milk. You're gonna be like, hey, bro, that's a bad idea.
That's a bad idea.
How would you come with me?
Yeah,
yeah.
Instead, people, because everybody's so soft and society has made it just not a good idea to be honest with people.
Yeah.
They're like,
people think of accountability as like correction.
Yes.
Like when somebody's being like, "Hey, you're sleeping in today. You're supposed to get up." It's like,
But
don't correct me.
it's
like,
none of, I don't want to get involved. It's none of my business.
yeah, you're holding it accountable,
Do
man.
you care about the person?
Right.
And it goes with anything. It goes with like the guy that is, maybe you have a coworker and you're friends with him. You know his wife. He has kids.
Yeah.
He's getting a little too chummy with the female coworker.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, bro, like, knock it off.
I care about you and your family.
Like,
What are you doing?
Do you want to blow your whole family up?
Yeah.
Like, you want to blow your whole life up? Because I'm gonna tell you,
Ruin your kids' lives.
that road is not good for anyone involved.
Yeah. And they're always emotionally based. And like the top art schools, like every once in a while, they back off the canvas, right? Like every hour or something, whatever it is, they back away from the canvas. Like you need a different perception. You need to back away a little bit. So this guy, who's
I've talked about it publicly. My brother-in-law, I had to have a serious conversation with my brother-in-law and his consumption of alcohol. Mm-hmm. He did not like that conversation.
Yeah, you poked apart that
like hard.
Yeah, that's what you do.
And then, guess what now?
Yeah, I saw him on Instagram with a goat.
Yeah,
he put maple beard oil in or something.
The goat was eating his beard.
It.
Yeah. But the thing is like that kind of level of accountability. He didn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
The reality is, I didn't want to have that conversation. It's not a comfortable conversation on my end either.
Yeah.
But look at the good it did. Like it saved him. It saved his relationship with my sister. It saved him from losing his kids.
Yeah.
And now, and typically what happens when you're that way, when you hold somebody accountable, even if it makes you and them uncomfortable, on the back end, they go, bro, thanks.
Yeah. You
know what happened? Tim, the guy we were talking about, I don't know if it was on the podcast or before, one of my tier 1 clients, Tim Esposito, he's got Enzo's Cleaning Solutions up north. And he listens to the podcast. Tim, I love you. You're a badass salesman. I told him on the group today, I said, when Tim sells his company, I'm going to hire him to sell for the Agoge.
He's that good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
But he's just hardcore. He's like me. He's just hardcore. He's lost 60 pounds.
Nice.
60 pounds now, I think.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Business is thriving. He's like, dude, his wife's lost a bunch of weight.
Yeah.
Timmy's doing, his little son's doing like workouts with him in the garage and stuff. And actually like was one of the top 4 kids in his school. There's like this kids.
Damn.
Yeah. The kids' physical fitness test.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's all from their mom and dad, like doing, like, it's just what they do now.
Influence, inspiring. That's awesome.
I was just saying, so Tim goes on a sales call and he sees this guy. He has, I think it was a sales call. He hadn't checked up with one of his clients or a rep, and he comes to him and he goes, Tim, man, what have you been doing? You look amazing.
Nice.
And he's like, well, I joined the Agoge, et cetera, et cetera. And he goes, man, I tell you, man, the last time I saw you, I thought you were going to die.
Damn.
Like you looked so sick. Because he did. Like when he came on the Agoge, he was like very pale, type 2 diabetic, high blood pressure, all kinds of medical issues because of the weight and everything and lifestyle. And he goes, yeah, man, when I saw you, I was like, man, Tim's not going to live very long. Didn't say shit.
Damn.
And Tim said, dude.
You thought that and you didn't say nothing?
Yeah, like why would you not?
Dead man walking over there.
Yeah, right? Like why would you not? And that's what people
Tim,
do.
are you okay?
Yeah, like, Tim, hey, what's going on, man? Like you just look real unhealthy. And that's not a conversation that you would want to have, right?
Yeah.
But still, and Tim goes, I wish somebody would have said, Tim, man, you look like you're going to fucking die.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you've got a kid and a wife.
Yeah.
And anyways, he brought that up on one of the calls. And
wow.
He was just like, dude, I wish. So now, now coming from the other side, he's like, I'm honest with people. I'm like, hey, man, I do this thing.
Yeah.
And anyways, so it made a difference. But the biggest thing is what he's noticed was, and this is across the board, this is, with all of us, instead of saying things, doing things, because he's had family members reach out to him and be like, hey, man, I've seen your progress and you've inspired me to make change.
Nice.
By doing.
Action.
Yeah, action. Yeah. So anyways,
Thoughts
hold people accountable. If you care about people, if you care about them,
yeah,
then you're going to say something. Even
you don't need to, you don't even necessarily need to know them to care about them either.
Oh, no,
like
you care about humanity. And
yeah,
human
in
beings.
general,
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
at the gas station drops something, you help them. Like it's very natural, and there's a reason why if you don't, you feel bad moments later.
Instead of
think
the
about
concept of like, well, it's none of my business.
Yeah, that's not my job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, if
fuck
not
that, dude.
you, then who?
Whose job is it?
Yeah. Well, it's funny because we just did the whole dog poop talk.
Yeah.
Watch out for the poop.
Watch out. We're moving the game over here because there's poop over there. Yeah.
Pick the fuck. And it's funny. Kirk, the real story of that whole thing was, like, I'm glad that somebody picked that poop up. And he was like,
somebody really need to do that.
yeah. And he was like, yeah, it could have been you.
Yeah.
But he left that out of the book.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
But anyways, yeah.
It's true though. I mean, just like
There's a ping for Kirk's book. Go buy the Dog Poop Initiative, which is it looks like a children's book. What do you say? The biggest purchaser of
95% of the sales are from Boeing. Yeah. Airlines.
Because it's part of their corporate leadership team.
So every employee there, yeah.
Every employee at Boeing gets the.
What a book though, man! What a principle concept of just like.
I love giving him shit because he did that whole story.
Yeah.
And then and then he wrote. It remind me of like Jerry Maguire. Like you type out an email and you printed it out and then you put it in.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there was no
AirDrop.
Yeah,
it wasn't like a.
There was no
Adobe
way.
Illustrator.
There was no way of disseminating information.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think he emailed it to. It was like an internal thing when email just became a thing at companies, and so he emailed it to the company, and then do you remember?
It went
you were
viral.
Too young, but there used to be these email chains that would get sent around, and that was like the people. That's the way people disseminated. Like you would get caught in schemes in these email chains.
Yeah, I was too young for that, but I was alive for that though. But
this was like 96, 95 maybe.
Yeah.
And
I was learning to walk.
You learned to walk. But anyways, so that's what he did, and somehow it made it to the Pentagon in the military.
That's
this
so wild.
Freaking story in an email, and that's what turned it into a book.
Poop.
About poop. Yeah.
That's so wild, man.
Yeah.
I love how he put such a simple concept of there's so many, like he said, there's hundreds of shadows in this that can be revealed by some sort of illumination of light. But he talked about this was a concept they now created new rules for, like the poop on the field, and the parents and the refs talked about, hey, now we're moving the game over here. If we get close, I'll blow the whistle. Like we've essentially created new corporate rules around something so simple. And then the next players came on and they came into this world with these rules of just something that could get picked up. So they
just adopt it.
Yeah, and he said it too on the call that what are we doing in our lives that are just repetitions of things that we were told in the past?
Well, it reminds me. I heard in our house. This. It's like have you ever heard? Did I ever tell you about the whole monkey?
Yeah, the monkeys and the banana and the Firehouse.
Yeah,
that's my favorite story. I love that story. It's like yours and the elephant and the rope. Mine's the monkeys.
Yeah, so that's
there's so much to break down in that.
That is, to me, that's that. When I think about that story, I think about the Marine Corps.
Yeah, 100%. You know I mean? Yeah. Because like policy and
why
SOPs.
are we doing this? Yeah. Nobody fucking knows why we're doing it. So the story goes like this. If you haven't heard it, there's a monkey habitat, right? I'm not going to say a cage, but like a nice zoo where they have the trees and the lakes and everything, and you've got a bunch of monkeys in there. Well, in there is a ladder. At the top of the ladder is a thing of bananas. The only way to get to bananas is to climb up the ladder. So monkey one goes up there, sees bananas, goes up there, tries to get the bananas. Cold ass fire hose kills the monkey, right?
Yeah.
And then they spray all the other monkeys. So if the monkey goes up there, all the monkeys get sprayed.
Yeah.
All right. So then the next monkey goes up there, same thing happens. All right. And then eventually they all get sprayed, and they all go, well, we're going to leave those fucking bananas alone.
Yeah.
That we're going to spray with cold water. So they slowly replace one monkey at a time. So the monkey goes up there, gets sprayed. I think the first time he goes up there, gets sprayed. But eventually they put a new monkey in. The new monkey doesn't know anything about the hose. So he climbs up there, tries to get the banana. The other monkeys beat the living shit out of him.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to get sprayed with water. And so they repeat this cycle so many times, and they start replacing each monkey. Eventually, there's 6 monkeys in there. None of them have ever been sprayed by the damn water. And as soon as a monkey goes up there, they beat the shit out of that monkey. They don't even know why.
Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome
Nobody touches the ladder.
And nobody touched the ladder.
Yeah.
And nobody was even there, the original reason, to see why they don't climb the ladder.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Marine Corps.
Is that Pavlov's law?
I don't know.
The dog experiment he did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where if the sound makes
Yeah.
him salivate.
Yeah.
So they did a human experiment of that. I don't know if I told you with I forget where they did it, but it was a lobby, like a waiting room, and there was a woman there, and as soon as everybody was controlled, and she was like the subject.
I remember.
Yeah,
this.
as soon as there was a ding, everyone just they didn't stop what they were doing, but they just stood up. Like if they were reading a magazine, they just stood up. And then she looked around. It was a social experiment, obviously, so she felt embarrassed for not being fit in, and then she just stood up.
Everybody started doing it.
They replaced every single person in there, and there were only like 3 people out of the experiment that were just looking around like, I'm not doing that. That's fucking weird. But everybody else just stood up because that's what everyone else was doing. They had no idea why. And that's crazy.
You just explained COVID in a
yeah, I know.
In a nutshell.
Yeah. There's a few. Yeah.
I was like, nah. Not doing it.
I'm not standing up. That's stupid.
Not standing up.
Why am I doing that?
But see, that was my problem in the Marine Corps too. I had that same problem.
Yeah. You can't have that in that system.
You can't have that.
That system don't operate like that.
They were like, no, man. I'm like, no, man, I'm gonna climb the ladder. No, you can't climb the ladder.
Has anyone tried just like the other side of the ladder? Has anyone tried like standing on top of shoulder? Like there's other ways we can get the bananas.
Why can't we climb the ladder?
How do we know it's the bananas, not the ladder?
Nobody knows why we can't climb the ladder. Well, I'm climbing the ladder then. Yeah.
I mean, if the hose is worth the bananas, someone just take the hose. Someone stand in front of the hose and get the bananas.
Water's wet, man. You'll be fine.
I don't know.
But
yeah, we do. I mean, like we do pick up things inherit from our family, from our household, but also things we pick up in society. Like you have to wear a belt and tuck your shirt in. Like that's a terrible example, but there are things like that we just do because it's been, and it just will be. And if you go against that, you make people uncomfortable.
Ooh, don't make people uncomfortable.
Bro, when we travel, I can't wait. I bought slippers. So when we went to South Carolina, I traveled in slippers. Dude, I'm never traveling not in slippers again. That shit is so comfortable. I'm going to be weird, I know, but I bought Sherpa-lined slippers I'm going to wear.
You're going to be so sweaty, bro.
Nah, man. Nah.
Which trip are we talking about?
Montana.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
I'll experiment in Montana. I'm not going to wear it in Hawaii. I'm not wearing slippers in Hawaii like that.
Bro, I wore, we had so I changed into like sweatpants going over there one time. Cause it was like, I don't remember where we were coming, but it was going to be like an 8-hour flight in the nighttime.
Okay.
So I was like, I don't want to wear jeans. I don't want to wear shorts. No, us.
Oh, you guys.
Me
okay.
Me and Allie. I don't remember what trip it was. But it was an overnight trip. It was like 8 hours, and we were going to somewhere tropical. Might have been Hawaii or something. And it was a red eye. And I was like, well, dude, I want to be comfortable. We had nice seats, so I wanted to like try to relax. Bro, something happened to where I couldn't change when I landed. So I'm in a tropical environment and sweat. I was like, I'm gonna fucking die.
I'm confused. Like there was no place you could just like.
I think it had to do with like how fast we had to move. Like we had to get on. We had to get our bags, get on another thing, get on.
And there wasn't like a moment.
There wasn't a moment or a pause. It was like.
Did you like pull your sweatpant legs up?
Bro, I tried everything, but I was like, I felt like my undercarriage was just like slopping in water and sweat and water.
And you're in the tropics?
Yes. It was like, I'm never doing this again.
Hey, Nick, you want to go to the beach real quick?
Bro, I think I did. I think as soon as I got there, I took off my pants in my underwear and jumped in the water.
Yeah, man.
Like in the water. I was like, I gotta get cold. It was horrible.
Damn.
Yeah. No, not doing that again, dude. I'd rather be uncomfortable. I'm not. You gotta hit when I hit the ground, you gotta hit the ground running, man. You can't have nothing holding you back.
I'm just gonna wear slippers.
Are you gonna be let's talk about this. Let's talk about your anxiety.
Why you gotta poke, man? I don't want to talk about that.
Because you've done some work.
Yeah, that's true. I'm actually excited. Yeah,
I'm
trying to turn my nervousness into excitement. For everybody who doesn't know, I'm fearful of flying. I don't like turbulence. And you have physically seen beads of sweat.
No, I have.
I've
laughed at you.
Yeah, we're sitting there, and I'm like holding my hand out, and it starts beating out of the freaking.
It's funny
because
I remember I'm having a conversation with you. I think we're talking about work or whatever. I think we might have even been in first class.
Oh, we were. We were very much in first class, and I was in the first row to the windows.
And I remember your eyes kind of glassed over. I'm like, I don't think he's
not listening.
He's not listening to me.
And I'm just like,
and I looked at your hand,
whole
and it
thing
was just
shaking.
like all like slimy.
Yeah. And I'm like sitting there doing this. I'm like, oh man,
bro,
dude, I don't want to be anxious. I don't want to be nervous.
First class, relax.
But honestly, talking and having the window open helped a lot. But,
really?
Yeah.
Because I didn't even miss a beat. I just kept rambling on.
Music helps a lot too. I watch music. I can't watch a show. I don't know why. I tried working. I work. Reading helps, and Sudoku. So I'm taking all of those precautions.
I work. I just talk to people that want to join the Agoge.
Yeah, but for you, it's like a bus ride. For me, I enjoy driving. I'll drive everywhere if time wasn't an essence.
I absolutely hate driving.
I love driving. Driving for me is like a puzzle. It's like Tetris. It's like moving Tetris.
To me,
it's all
just
pieces.
wasted. It's just straight wasted time of life.
I cannot wait to someday be a race car driver. I want to ride and race.
Is that a goal?
I would love to do that. I don't know if that's a goal necessarily as much as just maybe a bucket list thing, but...
Should we have a Johnny Slish race car?
No. For what? No, see, this is I'm gonna steer you back to North Star. That's a bad opportunity. If you have an opportunity for that, we're gonna pass.
What if it's a tax write-off?
Nah.
I don't know.
Will that get us to our goal? Maybe it will faster because it's a race car.
What if it... I have to talk about that.
Am I driving it?
Yeah.
Dude, we ain't gonna get closer to the goal, man. That thing's gonna get wrecked. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just...
It's lessons, bro. We'll get you some
experience.
lessons.
I'll just give me like one of those like hillbilly bumper cars.
One of our employees partners. I don't know if they're not married. I don't think.
Now I don't know who you're talking about.
Naomi.
Oh,
her boyfriend.
Oh, I do know that. Yeah, I do know that.
He races.
Yeah, I do know that. Yeah.
See, boom, Johnny Slish race car.
I don't know.
Go fast.
What are we gonna do? I don't even know what we're gonna do.
Go fast.
Just gonna slap a logo on it. You know how many NASCAR guys have reached out to us?
Really?
Yeah, like 8 or 9 guys from NASCAR have reached out to us, asking for sponsors and like they love the product. No. I was like, I don't know. I mean, a freaking Daytona, like these massive NASCAR races. I get it, but like they're drunk. Are they gonna remember seeing the logo on your car passing by at that speed?
Going at 200 miles an hour.
Can they see it? Like
I don't know how fast is. I don't do NASCAR. Mark, you know how fast the 180, 200.
So 200 miles per hour, an intoxicated guy sitting up about 300 feet away from the race car. You're not going to see the logo.
You're not seeing shit.
I don't think that's worth it.
It's a good deal for you.
Yeah, it's great.
Now, if we had our own car and it was just Sean Whalen did it with Lions Not Sheep. I don't know the deal, but he made his own car.
I would want to do. I don't see NASCAR doesn't seem like a thing to me. I'd much rather do like rally or like something.
Yeah, I don't know any of the difference.
I don't want to drive on cement really. I'd like to drive off road.
Like the Baja stuff.
Yeah, like rally car. Yeah,
that's what that is.
Yeah, I would love to do that stuff. I don't want to do like cross continentals. I don't want to like race for hours. I just want to do like 15-minute race 3 times around a track. Take the joke.
It's dirt.
Some of it, yeah. No. Like half of it. What was the race? They did one at the air show.
I think there's a Baja one that's a race that's like multi-day.
I don't know. Baja's so vague. There is a rally called Baja, but there is also there's a whole place called Baja.
There's probably people in the comments right now are just like,
just
dropping straight hate because we don't know.
Yeah,
we don't know anything about it.
I don't know anything about it.
Sorry,
look, it's my bucket list. It doesn't mean that I spend time researching all the time. I feel like bucket list items until like death is at the door. You kind of just wait for opportunities. Because you have goals.
We do a lot of shit, dude.
We do a lot of shit, but like those are goals. I feel like bucket lists are like climbing a mountain. That's not really like
check
make you money.
That.
I know you have. Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime, isn't it?
I think they took it down actually.
Oh,
yeah, it's on YouTube.
Yeah,
Journey to the Top.
It was a good movie. Short,
30.
Yeah, it's not a movie, but
short movie,
short film,
short documentary.
Yeah. You had a GoPro too, right? You use a GoPro for that or something?
I used a. Actually, Mark has it somewhere. It's that Panasonic. It's a Panasonic, right? The Handycam.
Oh, that thing?
That's what I used.
Damn.
And the reason why I used it is because it had night vision.
Oh.
That's why. That's how I got all the night vision things.
Okay.
But what I didn't expect was the batteries in the cold.
What do they do?
They just sucks the battery life out of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of things I learned filming that by myself.
Yeah. I know nothing about electricity.
It was, you learned a lot now.
Well, I'm trying to draw the electrical plans for the warehouse. I'm like, I don't know. Can I put 15 on this wall?
I highly suggest people to climb a mountain
And research electricity.
That was out of all the hard shit I've done in my life, that stands out to be. Actually, it's not even true. The last 200 feet.
Yeah.
Was probably the darkest.
How many days you were up there?
It was a day to base camp. I think we stayed a day or two at base camp, and then there was a summit day. We left at I'm going to have to watch the movie, but I think we left at 2 a.m.
I remember you specifically talking about not looking up. One, because it's blinding, but two, because you lose hope.
Not just that, but there's no perception of...
distance, right?
There's no perception.
Yeah.
And down is just fucking frightening as shit.
Yeah.
So you just look at your feet.
feet.
And you really have to look at your feet because you're walking on like a 12-inch path of ice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's kind of, that the guide is like stamped out. And so you got that. And you got crampons in your shoes. And you got your ice axe on the right. So you're depending on which way you're going up the mountain, whatever, the mountainside. And, yeah, dude. And you're just trying to like not slip and fall into a crevasse
there's so many lessons in that too.
Yeah.
Like if you focus too much on the goal, you'll slip.
Well, I've used that as so much, man.
That's your so focus, strong.
Yeah, like that's a goal, yeah.
Like be aware of it.
Yeah,
yeah.
But you need to be focused on the daily. That's the way I look at it. Is like the one step in front of you. That's your daily task to get you there.
One step.
Yeah,
like that 24 hours.
If you're looking behind you, you're gonna fall. If you're looking up, you're gonna get overwhelmed. Just focus on the one.
What was
step
that?
In front of you.
Past is regret and future is anxiety or something like that.
Yeah,
living in the past is the present. Yeah,
yeah. It's a.
You're supposed to use the past as like a redirect.
I think it's a Buddhist monk thing, but yeah, it's if you're living in the past, you're depressed. If you're living in the future, you're anxious. If you're living in the present, you're at peace.
Yeah,
and it's just kind of like a mindset of like people that are depressed are constantly thinking about the past, and anxiety is a fear of a potential,
unreal,
unknown thing that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
Like what Tony Blauer talks about.
Yeah.
False expectations appearing real. It's what fear stands for. Anyways.
Man, depression's real too. I don't want to get on depression thing, but I woke up this morning depressed too because of the meds I'm on. Man, that shit sucks. You know how hard it is to get out of that on your own without realizing that it's just a feeling?
So there is a, it's funny you mentioned that. So there's obviously chemicals in your brain that causes that, right? Mm-hmm. Like on a scientific level, there's lack of dopamine, and then whatever the depression,
and then the imbalance
of it. But there's a depression factor hormone, and I'm not a neuroscientologist, so I don't know this, but there's a hormone that gets secreted that will cause that depression, but it's a lack of serotonin, lack of dopamine.
Yeah.
So this is the power of the mind. And this is why people yell at me. And I think that was like depression's real, but it takes action.
Mm-hmm.
So you feel depressed, and like I just had a bunch of scar tissue removed out of my thing. Mm-hmm. And they put me on that fucking anesthesia and shit like that, which makes you like lethargic and depressed. And
it takes everything at all the transmitters. It just
and
rewires you.
And not only that, but then I'm also like not on my routine. Like I can't do my routine. I might not be able to train for a few days. I might not be able to do, whatever.
Can't ice bath, right?
I can't get in the water yet.
Yeah.
So all the things that I know that make me really healthy and make me feel good, I can't do. So it makes you kind of feel like, I don't want to say depressed, but depressed.
Yeah.
Down.
Yeah. Because
you're not able to do the things you're supposed to do. So, the power of positive thought and meditation.
Yeah.
So you wake up in the morning, you feel that way. You can do, and I could, there's tons of things. There's tons of meditations on YouTube that are free that you can do this. And it's basically to rewire your brain. So if you're depressed, you sit down there, you lay down, whatever, and you put on this meditation, And it basically walks you through the concept of thinking about some of the most positive events in your life.
Yeah.
And then being grateful for those.
Yeah.
All right. So it walks you through the positive events. Like, try to think about the most amazing thing that's ever happened to you in your life. And then really just live in that moment for a second. Think back to that moment and then just live in that moment. And then, so Allie and I just did this together after, just a few days ago. And then it goes on to something like, okay, think about what you're grateful for. Think about the 3 things in your life that just make you so fucking ecstatic, something that you're so grateful for.
Yeah.
And then you kind of wander on those. And then you think about, and then it talks about thinking about the future, but in a way of what you're looking forward to. So it's forcing you to focus on the positive.
That's hard.
What you're grateful for, and then what you're looking forward to. Not the anxious stuff, but like maybe you have a trip coming up. Maybe you're going to have a kid. Maybe
See, for me, looking at that stuff makes me anxious and frustrated.
I mean,
so like
that just means you have work to do.
No, it's weird. So like I never felt actual depression. I thought depression was more like sad, but it's more or less like I just feel like I'm in a room and the lights are all off.
So for instance, thinking about going to Hawaii.
Yeah, right. But then here's what happens. I think about the negatives. So like I think of myself as a future, like you're talking about traveling in the past.
But see, that's where you have to work.
I know.
That's where the focus. That's where your focus has to shift to the positive. So okay, I'm thinking about the greatest thing that ever happened. I'm thinking about what's grateful for me, and I'm thinking about the positives. And as soon as you go to the negative, you're like, nope.
Go
back to the positives. Hold on and this is where the work and action takes place.
Yeah.
But if you do it, like I got done, and it rewires the chemicals in your brain. And I like came out, and it was like 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Came out of it, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I feel better.
That's wild. That's cool. Yeah.
But it takes work. It's a lot of work. And I don't know if I've ever talked about it on the podcast before, but it took, everybody's like, meditating doesn't work. I can't meditate. Motherfucker, you haven't tried. It took me 8 years.
Well, people think meditation is like the old Shaolin Zazen where you're sitting in the lotus. You don't have to do meditation is like anything. People meditate while they're doing carpentry.
When I first started, like over 8 years ago, when I first started to try to meditate for, recovery and, transition out of the military and all that kind of stuff, I would have straight blown out panic attacks.
Yeah.
As soon as I closed my eyes, I'd be like, breathing would pick up, heart rate would pick up.
Yeah.
I would my mind would go to negative places, and I was just like, I can't do this. And I would quit, and then I would try it again. We'd do a veteran retreat. I would try it again. I'd quit, try it again. But eventually I just said, fuck it, man, I'm going all in. I'm going to try to do this thing. And then 8 years later, it was the most bizarre thing. I got to this, what do they call it? Something state. A flow state or what? I think maybe a flow state. I think that's what they call it, a flow state, to where you're not really present. Like you're in like
enlightenment.
Yeah, like you're in your third eye. You're like you're
euphoric.
Your consciousness is somewhere else.
Yeah, it's a form of enlightenment. Yeah.
So here's what's weird is I was doing this. I had just done some training jiu-jitsu stuff with a guy. He was like a 30-year black belt, and he was showing us some techniques. And so I went into this meditation. This is the first time that it ever happened. I was in a room full of people, which you know me, like room full of people, shit going on, people moving around. We're all laying on the floor. And I just went to outside of my body. Where I was at Crest, our jiu-jitsu gym, drilling those moves on the people I train with. The same moves that I had learned the day prior from that professor.
Yeah.
So and none of this was thought out. None of this was planned. So in this, out of body meditation experience that I had, I was drilling technique with my training partners here locally when I was somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then we worked out of it, and I kind of came to, and Allie even knew. She goes, "Oh, I knew that." I looked at you, I knew that you were in another universe.
Yeah.
And so I came to, and I was like, "Holy shit, that just happened." Took me 8 years. Took me 8 years of work. Came back, executed those techniques flawlessly.
Yeah.
Like I had been doing them for a year.
Yeah, those neurons stuck. Yeah, because you
Yes.
took time to restructure them. Yeah,
Right.
that's cool.
So it's like you take, and I think we've talked about this before, is like you take something, you learn something, and then you're supposed to go like take a break, go meditate it. And it does anchor those neurons into your brain. Like
They
you
say
can
like
study things.
10 to 15 minutes of cardio before a learning spout. Do it. Like you learn these techniques. 15 minutes afterwards, just like sit in silence, restructure. Like have those neurons like really
File
cement
them
in.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Write it down if you need to, but like that trilogy of like actions is like how you learn things. Well, that's how we learn things as kids, and then shit just got you grow up.
Dude.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah.
It was one of the most wild experience, but
That's cool.
that took me 8 years of effort. And like somebody in the Agoge was saying like, well, I can't meditate. I was like, bullshit.
Yeah. I can't journal. I can't meditate.
Bullshit.
Like
you haven't put the time
You're
in.
the one dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
You
the
haven't
guy.
put the time in.
It's not
And
priority.
don't get me wrong. It's fucking hard.
Yeah.
It is hard. But anyways, if you're depressed, find those meditations and rewire your brain. Actually, I think that's the name of the book that Ali just finished. Dr. Caroline Leaf, Rewire Your Brain.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's where they were basically saying like if you're the guy on the couch depressed, you physically cannot change it.
Yeah. Physically, you're broke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to change the way that you think before anything will happen.
Well, everything is your mind, like your body. And people disagree all the time, but I do believe that your mind and body are very separate entities.
Yeah.
And your mind is like literally the hub, and your body is just a tool that your mind uses to
That's why I think
answer
about
questions.
it. You will quit. Your mind will tell you to quit way before.
Before, like 20%.
Way before your body is even close to it.
So like my mind goes, what's in the fridge, and it uses my legs to walk over there, my arms to open it. So your mind is just looking for questions, and your body's there to answer it. And if your body's like broken as shit, like you think it's just gonna fix itself? Like the hub is your mind.
Yeah.
That controls everything. And then once you realize that, you're like, oh, my body does this certain way, it performs this certain way, and I don't like it. Maybe I need to be accountable and hold myself accountable to where I am in life and get fixed. But it's like 100% mental.
But if exactly. So if you're that guy on the couch, you have to
put the chips down.
Well, yeah.
Make changes.
Put the cookie down. It's my cookie. Put the cookie down. You have to physically start or mentally start thinking of positive things and changing the way that you see yourself, see the life and everything.
Yeah.
When you start doing that, that's when things can actually change.
Yeah.
Because as long as you're operating in the negative, I think didn't we just talk about this on one of the singles? Yeah, like we cannot operate in the negative.
Yeah. I can't even talk to people anymore that operate in the negative. I'm
like
dead serious.
But
like
not even that. Like we can't. I'm not even talking about the negative people. We physically can't have negative space
in our minds.
Yeah. So the analogy I used on the short was if you're snowboarding,
okay,
like professional snowboarders, don't look at the trees.
Okay.
Because if you look at the trees, you're gonna hit the trees.
You're gonna hit the trees. Yeah, yeah.
They don't see the trees.
Yeah.
They see the gaps. They focus on the gaps.
Yeah. That's like a super. Wait, did you hear that from somewhere, or did you come up with that?
Because
that's like a super Taoist Buddhist mindset. There.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's also with motorcycles. Like so, so if you get your motorcycle license, they teach you when you turn.
Yeah.
Like you do a U-turn, you don't look at the ground.
You look at the turn.
You look where you want to go.
Okay. Okay.
So it's the same.
That's a little bit different.
No. Snowboard, you're looking.
I guess the concept would be the same, but
you're looking where you want to go, not where you want to.
Okay, okay, I can see that. Yeah, yeah, okay.
But what people do is, what people that are anxious or deal with
focus
fear,
on the fear.
They focus on the fear.
Yeah.
And what happens is they fucking hit it.
Yeah, you manifested that.
You manifest your own shit, dude.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Instead of focusing on like Bob Proctor's whole secret and like the power of belief and everything like that.
Yeah.
Like you have to focus on where you want to go.
You introduced Murphy. Like,
yes,
hey, come on in,
exactly.
bud. Like, see that tree? I'm not gonna hit it. Murphy's like,
but all you staring at is
the tree, huh?
You're like, don't hit the tree, don't hit the tree, don't hit the tree, don't hit the tree.
Bam!
You're like, all you're
Missed
staring
the
at
jump.
is the tree.
Yeah.
You know, but professionals like race car drivers, snowboarders,
baseball players, they look at the baseball,
football, whatever it is.
Yeah.
They're looking at where they want to go.
At the attack. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not at their obstacles.
Yeah.
They don't even see their obstacles. They see the
I
gaps.
would like to know, does anyone know running, like competitive running? Do they look at the hurdles or do they know when to jump? Like, is that
That's
a thing?
Great question.
I would love to know if they look at those as obstacles or if they're just, you know what I mean?
If they have like some sort of rhythm that they're just
what is a
focused on.
hurdle to a runner? What is that?
That's a great question.
Yeah, any runners, please let us know.
I guarantee, drop that in the comments. I guarantee there is a thought process to that too.
Yeah.
Like they have like a rhythm where they
step, jump, step.
They're not even focused on. They're more focused on their performance.
Yeah, because I've seen people who've hit hurdles and they act like they didn't.
Yeah.
And that's some shit that's mentally like, whew.
They just go.
Imagine hitting a hurdle and you're like, damn, can't start over real quick? And they don't. They just keep going.
Yeah. So anyways, the power
That's
of, and that's kind of like, goes into the elephant talk, but it's the power of self-belief and the power of manifesting where you want to go. Like for a long time, I believe that I had to work. I think I talked about this on the podcast before. Because of my background, because of, how I grew up, my time in the military, I believe that for me to achieve the same level of success as, say, you, I had to work 10 times harder than you.
Okay.
The universe just gave me a harder deal than you.
Yeah.
So you could do, say you wanted to make $10 million, you make $10 million, like, made $10 million. Me, I believe that I could make $10 million, but it was going to take me 10 times as hard than you.
Oh, I see. Okay. So you were dealt the shit hand.
Right.
Gotcha.
The universe just makes it
But
harder
mentally.
for me.
Yeah. Okay.
But the problem is I manifested that shit.
Yeah. Okay. That's wild.
And as soon as I let it go, it was like floodgates.
The art of letting go. The great Alan Watts.
I was just, he's good.
Yeah.
But legitimately, like I had to go, that's stupid.
That's the dumbest thing.
That's like if you tell anybody that, it's like.
But to you, that was like almost a core value. Like you truly believed that.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
I truly fucking believed it. So
Yeah.
I manifested my own hardship.
Yeah. And then with that came the negativity and then just drew
I'm just
you
staring
down.
at trees.
Yeah.
Just fucking, I'm like, don't hit the trees, Nick. Don't hit
You're
the
not
trees.
even going down the hill yet.
I know.
Because you're scared to hit trees. Yeah,
Yeah.
man, that's wild.
So like,
What I now want to think, hold on, what am I doing like that, huh?
you have to, it's like, it's one of those things like you know,
Self-audit.
Yeah. As Josh says, the mirror check, look in the mirror.
Dude, I
like,
love that. Tony Seven said that and it freaking blew my mind at that.
He stole that from Josh Hansberger.
Josh Hansberger said that, man. It blew my mind, man.
I don't know.
Bro,
if he
the
did.
law of mirrors, man.
Yeah.
Think about that. I just look at it from a very bland concept, like its own theoretical thing. If I am out in society and I am out and about, or I am receiving a text from anybody, and it is, however, is it my fault? Like, did I 100% make this a thing? If somebody flips me off driving down the road, law of mirrors, like, for some reason, am I portraying a middle finger to, like,
It's an ownership. It's like an ownership thing. Yeah,
dude, it changed you. Oh man,
Yeah.
wild, man.
Well, that's like the thing. Everything, just say everything's your fault.
Everything, yeah.
Everything.
And then you don't see anything. Well, me personally, I haven't for years, but I don't see anything as ugly anymore. Like, I don't see anything as, everything has its own beauty, and like law of mirrors. Like, if I want myself to be,
It's funny, like the employees will something will go wrong,
oh yeah,
and they're like, oh my god, Nick's gonna be like,
yeah,
I'm like, what did we learn?
yeah,
Like, there's been mistakes, and I've told Rebecca, I'm like, she's like, you're okay. I'm like, I'm fine. You know why?
yeah,
That will never happen again.
yeah, 100%.
Check.
Get them out of the way, man.
Don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason for me to get mad.
I said that to
because
an employee, and I didn't mean to upset them, but I did upset an employee saying that.
What? That it will
Yeah.
never happen again?
No, I said get up there and get all the fuck ups out of the way. And you can't say things like that. But in reality, just get up there and start making mistakes, man. Get them all out of
Yeah.
the way. Like, you got 30 for what does David Meltzer say? For every like 30 failures, there's one win or something like that. He has like a specific number.
I always say that you show me somebody successful, I show you somebody who's failed 15 times to get to that one success.
So 15 times.
So
Dude,
get there.
Knock them out.
Knock 'em out.
Like, just start going.
But that's what people are afraid of. They're afraid, like, well, I'm going to fail.
I
Once.
do. I personally am.
2,
like that. I'm learning though.
3.
Yeah.
Like, and then they quit. It's like, no, dude, you have to fail 15 times to get there.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
knock 'em
What's
out.
What's that called when you analysis paralysis?
Analysis paralysis.
I suffer from analysis paralysis.
So I'm glad you brought that point up, because, and we can kind of finish it on this. You were talking about the shiny object and like creating ideas, and me saying like, no,
Yeah.
like focus on the goal.
Yeah.
this is another reason why, like, to bring it full circle back into like having a team and having the right people in your life. It takes this is something I had to learn. There's a bunch of different personality types. In our companies, we use what's called the DISC profile. DISC.
Dicks.
DICS. DICS. Yeah. And it takes to run a business, you really need all of the profile, like all the different personality types.
Yeah.
A D is not a great customer service person.
Yeah. Unless they're talking to a D.
Yes.
Which some companies do. They match personalities to the customer.
Sometimes, but the only problem with that is when you have a higher D, that other D turns into an S.
And, yeah.
So my point being is, when you have somebody like this, like for instance, like you and Tyler are very alike, like my business partner.
But I don't take naps.
But yeah, no fucking naps.
I don't take naps.
The whole world's fucking moving while you're sleeping.
World don't nap, Tyler.
Everybody's gonna go crazy. Have you seen the comments on that reel that we did?
No,
bro. Go look at the comments on YouTube and Instagram
with you and John.
With me and John talking about not taking naps.
Yeah. Okay.
People got fucking irate.
Bro, there is some science to it, but like, no, don't justify
that.
Go
to bed
shit,
early.
Bro. You were napping before the science came out, man. Yeah. You're just justifying it now. Stop taking naps.
Your testosterone is low and you're tired.
Reach out for help.
And you're lazy. Yeah, reach out for help. DM me the word core. Anyways, but yeah, so those type of personalities, the very creative personalities, you are super creative.
Yeah.
So it's constantly like, I have an idea. But the problem with that is you'll have so many ideas that you'll just like butterfly yourself into a million pieces.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And won't be hyper focused on like, hey, let's make this one thing. Singularity of focus.
Well, yeah. And like there are $1 million ideas, but work has to go into them. You can't just have $1 million. Like there's an idea, there's a spark, but then work goes into it.
Go into that one thing.
Like the light bulb wasn't just like, that's a good idea. Invented millions
so there
of dollars.
Are personalities like Tyler's one of them as well. He has he hits me up every single day, and a lot of my tier 1 clients that are high performers are very creative. They have a lot of ideas. Yeah. Right. And I'm like, that's a great idea, but we're gonna focus on your goal and make that thing happen.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be hyper focused on that until that happens, and then we can roll out another one. You know, but it's interesting, and this is the reason why it's crucial to have the right people on your team, because it holds you accountable to your original priorities and your original goals. Because otherwise, if you just had let the idea fairy run, man, holy shit, dude.
No, you would have, like, I only have like 10 eggs, but I have like 1 billion baskets. So like I'd have to pick up an egg and put it over there, and then like I would have no full basket anywhere. I would just have a ton of empty.
And nothing would ever really happen.
And no project would ever get finished because, like you said, Tyler's doing it every day.
Yeah.
What project and what idea can you start now and finish now? There are none. They take time.
Yeah.
So I can't start on something now and then in a month be like, it's done, but I came up with 5 more in the meantime. You know, like. So like
and this is something and I'm not throwing everybody under the bus here. It's something I learned early on in my career, because I mean at one point we had 7 different LLCs running 7 different businesses at once, and we became singularity of focus. These are the things that we're going to drive into, and then what happened? Money started to be made, and life got better. But not only that, but think about your anxiety and your stress. You can create a hell for yourself. Yeah, by having all those shiny objects.
And we like to complicate things as humans for some reason. We like to overcomplicate
Why
things.
make our life way more hard?
I don't know. And then we complain about it. I'm like, bro, what the fuck?
You did this to yourself, asshole.
You keep doing it. Why do I keep doing this?
But that's the reason why, having a good team member, having good mentors, having good coaches, because it helps you have focus, give you something to bounce off and say, hey, does this get you to the goal? No. I'm going to stay hyper-focused on the goal.
Here's a good test for your friends. Put something in your teeth or in your beard. The friends that tell you, keep them. There you go.
They let you go.
If they don't tell you that there's something in your beard or in your teeth,
go eat some charcoal.
They don't care about you, bro. yeah, right.
Go eat some charcoal. Yeah. Like, hi, how you doing?
And they'll be like, no, you're good. You're good, man. Bro. Yeah. Be like, you're not my friend, are you?
No, bro. Hey, bro, you have shit in your teeth.
I used to say that to people. I was a shit NCO. I used to say it to people. I'd be like, whoever let you out of the house with that haircut is not your friend. I used to be such an asshole to people.
We all were. Hey, anyways, audit your circle. Audit your circle.
Get a circle.
Yeah. Let's see what's the highlights of this. Audit your circle. Make sure you have a good tribe. Join the Agoge. Buy Johnny Slicks.
Belief. The power of belief.
Believe in yourself. And then meditate.
Yeah.
For a decade.
But look at different forms of meditation, because I think people think of it like journaling. I used to be hardcore against journaling. I was like, I'm not writing a fucking diary. What are you talking about? But then I started to look at it, and I used to be like, I'm writing.
Have to write your shit down,
dude. You have to. Like, you just have to, because it's part of my day now. But like,
I don't write in a journal because I'm usually moving too fast, but I do notes.
Yeah, I'm like hardcore. I don't do any technology when I'm doing journaling. I'm straight hippie on it, man. I have a craft notebook.
There's no way that it will work that for me.
I write it down and I check it the next morning. I'm like, wow, I really was an asshole yesterday. I don't know why I did that. No, I'm just joking. But I used to write and be like, what if someone sees this? So I have to write a certain way. Like, I have to portray, I don't want to be embarrassed by this. And I'm like, bro, who the fuck? No one's gonna look. Who cares, man? So
who cares?
I tell all the employees too, if you're gonna take notes in a book, write it for yourself. Like, don't give a shit if somebody sees it.
No, it's for you.
It's not about that.
Yeah.
Besides
that's how all my ideas happen for my videos.
Yeah.
Is the reason why I have to do it the way I can, because if I don't put it down when it happens, it's gone.
Yeah.
The way fast my brain works.
Yeah.
I have to. I can't have a journal time.
Oh, I got you.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I got mine right here.
I know you do.
I carry it everywhere.
I know. You've got a couple.
Yeah.
Like my personal Johnny Slicks.
No, yeah, I have a January, and then towards the beginning of a new month, I'll have February, but I keep January just in case I haven't finished any empty tasks, and I have my personal, and then I have my couples. So like me and Rebecca's, like relationship.
So for me,
it's a lot. I don't know.
Yeah, for me, it's all because like I'll have an interaction or I'll see something, it will trigger a thought or an idea, and it has to go down immediately.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I wake up in the middle of the night, I'm like, if I don't.
No, I get that too. That's okay.
This has to get written down or has to be a voice text.
Yeah.
In my notes, because otherwise that bitch is gone forever.
Right.
Yeah.
So like journaling is not what you think it is. It is very free.
It's whatever it is for you.
It's freedom.
Yeah.
Like you do whatever. If you want to fucking draw on a crayon and a highlighter on a wall, you can. Same thing with meditation. It's not this zazen. You have to sit down and hum and you stick the tongue to the roof of your mouth. Like, you can do whatever you want with it.
I know what the okay. So there's your wrap up. Last call to action. Subscribe to this channel. Damn it. Do it, or I'm going to come to your house. 2, give us a 5-star review on whatever listening platform you are. And 3, go to the Johnny Slicks YouTube. Go to the Johnny Slicks Facebook page and go give John his like and a comment on the Johnny Slicks show.
Oh yeah, Johnny Slicks show.
Yeah.
It's a rantathon.
Is that what it's going to be?
Just going on rants about shit, man. Nah. No, I educate. Like, I just did one on the FDA and the USDA and what badges mean and how it's bullshit. And
so we're going to I have inspired Johnny to create his own. That's, what word were you going to use?
I don't know. I wouldn't use inspired, but I guess inspired's a good word. I believe you. I trust you as a mentor.
Told?
I guess. I mean, you said do it, so I'm doing it. But like, I trust in as you as a mentor. So like, you tell me to do it, I'm going to do it.
So he's going to start making his own short form.
I'm really hoping they get better. I'm just going to say that. I'm better in camera.
I said make 4 to 5 minute videos.
Bro, you can't tell me to go on a rant for 4 to 5 minutes. You can't put a time limit on that shit.
First video is how long?
14 minutes and 59 seconds. I cut it down a little bit. It's about 9.5 now.
Hey, we'll run with it.
Yeah, we're going to have to. You know what I'm saying?
So anyways, go. So if you like everybody, well, first of all, everybody likes Johnny. So he's going to be producing his own stuff over there at the Johnny Slicks YouTube and as well as on our Facebook. And then we'll cut them into reels and get them going.
And if you guys want me to go on a rant for anything, let me know.
Oh yeah, drop them in the comments. What do you want to know? Give them some topics of what you want to be talking about.
Yeah. So doing research on Johnny Slicks, starting the company, I had to do research on like USDA. I had to do ingredient research. I had to do aromatherapy research. I had to do all of these different types of research, and I uncovered on my own behalf, finding all of these things that were told in society about cosmetics and how our body reacts to
Lies.
them, and like it all comes down to money, which obviously everyone always follows money. So you can ask me anything in regards to cosmetics, how we're told to do things. I guess I don't know with cosmetics. I don't know. What else can you ask me? Ask me anything. You know,
Anything?
Like,
Are you open to anything?
I guess I don't know. What's the Johnny Slick Show? I don't know.
Well, we're gonna find out.
Look, I'm just saying, like, I'm very honest, a little bit too transparent, and it can get me in trouble. So just ask me, you know, and we'll see where it goes. Like,
I hope we get in trouble. That's if we get in
dude,
trouble.
that's what I'm saying. Like, you started this. You told me
If
to do
we
it.
get in trouble and we get negative comments, we're heading in the right direction.
I'm not worried about negative comments. Like, leave that shit all day. But like, I just don't want to like say some stupid shit and get everyone compromised on something. You know what I mean? Like,
No, it would that will never get published.
okay, if I go missing, like,
Oh, you mean like
I don't know, man.
Like
Like
Epstein?
I don't know. I've done
Yeah.
some research, man. I've done some really good research.
Bro, you're not kidding,
Like-
man. I've been pushing. Mark and I have been pushing the envelope with some of these shorts that we've been making.
Oh, then I'm good. If you guys are pushing it, I'm good.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
definitely pushing the. I even said, I said, hey, if I
You did last podcast.
I was
with
like,
me,
if I
yeah.
get
If
I get Epstein, you guys,
yeah.
I'm not suicidal, and that's so.
Investigate my death.
Investigate my death. Absolutely. If some shit goes sideways, you know what happened.
Autopsy.
Yeah, the Clintons came and gave me a visit.
Jesus.
All right. On that note, guys, thanks for watching and listening. Freaking love you guys, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.